Bakuruna bana Mose bashitata na bana mayo bane Ni wewe bane fuaya Kafwa babaranda Mwe umfokurira kwa bantu Kaza mayuti Mose bachinda mea bakuruna bana Mose bashitata na bana mayo bane Lilawe mwamba Kaza maile fuaya iwe wile webo eshi mwamba Lida experience Alankane wabomba Mwamba Emmanuel Mose wakasama Bale fuaya mwamba Emmanuel Wakasama wakulira Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Chipani ni PF Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Wakuito mwele Emmanuel mwamba mbasata Emmanuel Wewele fuaya Emmanuel mwamba mbasata Emmanuel Alankane wabomba mwamba Emmanuel Mose wakasama Bale fuaya mwamba Emmanuel Wakasama wakulira Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Chipani ni PF Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Wakuito mwele Emmanuel mwamba mbasata Emmanuel Wewele fuaya Emmanuel mwamba mbasata Emmanuel Wakasama wakulira Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Emmanuel mwamba mbasata Emmanuel Emmanuel mwamba mbasata
Ladies and gentlemen, Silver on the beat.
Ni wewe bane fuaya Kafwa babaranda Mwe umfokurira kwa bantu Kaza mayuti Mose bachinda mea bakuruna bana Mose bashitata na bana mayo bane Lilawe mwamba Kaza maile fuaya iwe wile webo eshi mwamba Lida experience Alankane wabomba Mwamba Emmanuel Mose wakasama Bale fuaya mwamba Emmanuel Wakasama wakulira Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Chipani ni PF Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Wakuito mwele Emmanuel mwamba mbasata Emmanuel Wewele fuaya Emmanuel mwamba mbasata Emmanuel Alankane wabomba mwamba Emmanuel Mose wakasama Bale fuaya mwamba Emmanuel Wakasama wakulira Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Chipani ni PF Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Wakuito mwele Emmanuel mwamba mbasata Emmanuel Wewele fuaya Emmanuel mwamba mbasata Emmanuel Wakasama wakulira Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Tule fuaya mwamba wesu Emmanuel Emmanuel mwamba mbasata Emmanuel Emmanuel mwamba mbasata
Ladies and gentlemen, Silver on the beat.
Ni wewe bane fuaya Kafwa babaranda Mwe umfokurira kwa bantu Kaza mayuti Mose bachinda mea bakuruna bana Mose bashitata na bana mayo bane Lilawe mwamba Kaza maile fuaya iwe wile webo eshi mwamba Lida experience
Thank you very much and welcome to today's brief. I thought I would make it. I've had a whirlwind of meetings and other engagements, but I thought that this was very important and we should discuss this matter. Now, the Drug Enforcement Commission received information that a chartered aircraft carrying dangerous goods had landed at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport on 13th August 2023 at 19 hours. Acting on this information, the DC, together with officers from various law enforcement agencies, conducted an operation on Monday. So the plane arrived on Sunday evening at 19 hours, and the DC moved in because they say they had information that the plane was carrying dangerous goods. And on Monday, 14th August 2023, they moved in at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, and the operation resulted in the following. One, that $5.6 million was seized, that 5 pistols were seized, that 7 magazines were seized, 126 rounds of ammunition were seized, and 602 pieces of suspected gold weighing 127 kg, and then equipment used for measuring of gold. The Drug Enforcement Commission then said that they had seized a plane, a Global Express registered T7WW, on which the above items were found, and another aircraft, a local aircraft owned by Zambian King Air B190, was also seized. And then they rounded up 10 suspects, including 1 Zambian, who they said were detained. This was the statement issued by Mr. Nelson Banda. Now, you are all aware about this gold scandal. It's a big one because it occurred in restricted space, at a restricted area, at the apron of the international airport, Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. In fact, for you and me, the matter broke out on social media, not with DEC, on social media. We heard that there was a big scandal at the airport and that gold and a lot of cash was seized. It took the whole day until I think yesterday when DEC moved in and made an announcement. There are a lot of questions that have arisen since this information was made available. First of all, the Minister of Mines and Minerals Development uncharacteristically forced an impromptu meeting after DEC, who are the lead investigating team in this matter, gave details. Within 2 hours, the minister came to the media and stated that Zambians should not worry about this because that matter was not gold. He said it was actually zinc, tin, copper, and other alloy metals. He didn't deliver lab result reports to the journalists for such wild claims. Because remember, DEC and videos had emerged of this gold that was seized at the international airport. There were various videos flying around on social media. With the advent of social media, the space for government to tell lies and to begin to cover up has been very limited, because before you could handle anything, the information is out there. So the minister, without demonstrating where the lab, where the tests were done, he didn't show any lab results, came and claimed that what was seized at the airport, what was involved at the airport was just zinc, copper, nickel, and tin, and it was in gold. I think this raised serious alarm to all of us. First of all, the speed and pace of information, the speed and pace of the minister's involvement in a law enforcement agency matter, I think raised more dust. Is the minister involved? Is he now beginning to cover up the crime that has occurred at the apron of the international airport? When you go to the airport, it's a restricted space. And for you, if you are receiving any visitors, you are just allowed outside. For those traveling, again, they are restricted until their time comes to go to the apron and board the plane. So you can imagine we have strangers, over 10 of them in a plane. And the information now that has reached all of us is that the plane was actually parked at Presidential Pavilion. If you've been to Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, there's an ordinary apron where all cars, all planes park, where we all go to board. But the new development of this airport, we have developed as a country a separate terminal, a separate presidential pavilion with VIP lounges for the president or his guests or presidents that come, especially when you're holding a huge conference, that they can be received without disrupting normal air traffic and normal movement of passengers on the other ordinary. So you have 2 separate platforms, 2 separate aprons, and I think they are separated almost over a kilometer apart, because the presidential pavilion is far away from where the ordinary apron is for the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. So for the plane to be parked there since Sunday with passengers with no visas, they are in the plane, and then in the morning of Monday, another small plane begins to go up and down, probably taking the same so-called gold, the suspected gold, and the transaction is occurring. Illegal trade is occurring at the apron of the airport. I think this raised a lot of alarm to all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, to clear a plane, you need a reg number. You need the plane details. What plane is it? What is it carrying? Is it carrying passengers? Is it carrying passengers and luggage? Is it carrying passengers, luggage, and cargo? The manifest should declare all this to the authorities. Remember, when a plane is flying, in this case, the plane from Switzerland flies into Egypt, flies into Somalia, flies into Ethiopia, and finally lands in Zambia. Requires that there are various clearances, because all these jurisdictions may have an opportunity to phone the Zambia Air Force. Have you cleared such a plane? Because the cosign is giving us that it's coming to Lusaka. So you have to have sufficient details that for the plane that is coming. And then the questions now have arisen. Who authorized this plane? Who allowed it to land? Who allowed it then to move to the presidential pavilion? A far restricted space, a far restricted apron than the ordinary apron where you receive the vehicles. Then who allowed this local plane that was now moving from the hangars and now coming onto this plane? We have all these questions. But what we can rely on are the statements that have been issued by the Minister of Mines and Drug Enforcement Commission. It was pleasing midday today to hear that the Minister of Home Affairs had actually directed all government officials to stop commenting about this. Literally, this was a reprimand to the Minister of Mines, who unexpectedly came onto the case that was outside his jurisdiction, outside his mandate. This was a criminal matter. He should have stayed away from it. He comes and it trivializes the huge crimes that have occurred at the airport. There are money laundering laws that have been broken there. There are financial regulation laws and Bank of Zambia regulations that have been broken. You know, you're only allowed to bring up to $5,000. These are millions of dollars that came into the country. There are various laws regarding the management, security management of the airport. The aprons are restricted spaces to allow strangers wherever they were coming to participate and begin to conduct illegal transactions at the airport, especially the presidential pavilion. Those are very, very serious questions that require answer. Where are we having this debate? We note that the minister asked all of us to keep away from this matter. No, Mr. Minister, this is a public matter. This matter regards our country. Yes, law enforcement agencies have their own question, but we are aware that there's been a strong attempt to cover this up. First, no one wanted this matter to be public. They really wanted to keep it under wraps. And to clear an aircraft, you require Zambia Air Force. To allow an aircraft park at Presidential Pavilion, you require Ministry of Foreign Affairs to participate, the Intelligence, State House, and ZAF itself. There are various layers of authority that have to be overridden for anything like what happened at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport to occur. So to gag and stop citizens from asking these questions would truly be unfair. In the advent, when we have the Freedom of Information Bill, when it becomes an act and when it becomes law, government will be forced to answer these questions. Now they can throw around restrictions. They can threaten arrests. They can threaten us with arrests because they are keen to keep this information, not for the sake of investigations, because we know that the system has been undermined by the perpetrators of this crime. They don't want to be arrested. They don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to go to jail. So immediately their sixth sense is to stop these transactions, to stop details from emerging. And if we citizens don't ask questions, they will get away with murder. We are just recovering from another huge scandal, the Sugilite scandal, which was mined and transported with full police security. Who authorized security to secure, a Mwombe mine in Chembe for over 3 weeks when they were mining it? Who escorted those trucks? And there were 3 trucks according to the villagers, and they gave those interviews to the media. But only 1 truck was impounded in Kabwe. Troop movement, including the police, is a very restricted place. Troops just don't move. Soldiers just don't move in their formal formation. Neither do the police. Who authorized all that? And when there is an arrest, there was an attempt for huge cover-up. To date, we don't know where the other 2 trucks are. So if 1 truck could have been estimated to be about $150 million, you are talking of over $450 million or more. So it's imperative that we as citizens, we ask these questions. Yes, we give space to law enforcement agencies, but we are aware that there's a political layer that attempts to perpetuate these crimes. Some people have been saying, then my questions are, who cleared the plane? Who allowed the plane to park at Presidential Pavilion? Who allowed the other plane to come and play at the airport where illegal transactions are taking place? Where was ZRI? Where was LP? Where was DEC? Where was everyone else when all these were occurring? So that means there is a high participation of state officials in these matters. Like I said, because of the layers required to make the approvals about airspace, airport landing, presence of planes, those without visas, all these requires layers and layers of approvals. So to what extent does this matter end? So I'll invite you to call the numbers. Let me give you the numbers. We seem to have problems with the numbers in the past, but I think it's a matter we have resolved. Let me just quickly give you the numbers on which you can call us. I'll play the videos of the minister. Sorry, I just want to get the numbers quickly. Are the numbers scrolling? The numbers scrolling. Okay, so let's play the video. I'll come and give you the numbers. The usual numbers, the one that are appearing on the screen, and I'll give you another number for WhatsApp calls. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's participate in this. We are raising this issue because President Hakainde Hichilema has put the fight against corruption as one of his foremost, what he wants to achieve. To stop. He wants to stop corruption in this country. But there's been huge recurrence of corruption in his own government. The Sugilite scandal, we are glad that some people were fired, including a minister, some district commissioners, and the permanent secretary was fired. We expect the same with this gold scandal because the layers reach up to State House. So we want to see the action by the president. If he really has to live up to the demand that he's fighting corruption, is fighting all these abuse of office, abuse of the law by people that hold state power. So call us at the end. Let's first run the videos and I'll invite you for the cause.
We urge all other wings of government to desist from making comments on this matter. All comments pertaining to this particular matter will be handled by the Drug Enforcement Agency, who are the lead agency in this investigation. We also want to appeal to members of the public who may have particular information pertaining to this particular gold saga to report and inform the investigating wings of the information they may have in order for the investigating wings to expedite this particular process. We, as government, have nothing to hide. This morning, we are going to lead a delegation of media houses to go to the airport and see for themselves that the plane in issue is under our custody. And the individuals who are alleged to be involved in this matter, and which individuals were detained by the police, are still in custody. No one has been released by the investigating wing. I also want to appeal that politicians must not use this particular unfortunate situation to scandalize the presidency. The president and members of staff at State House should be left out of this scheme. Let the investigating wings investigate the matter. The truth will be known by the public at an appropriate time.
Arm twisters. Allow us to work professionally. Trust us. Whatever we do is well thought out. It's in the interest.
And it was actually headed to Zambia. The itinerary, according to the manifest, indicates that it was supposed to fly back again to Egypt. That is what we have as at now. The nationalities of the people that were detained, we have 6 Egyptians, 1 Spanish, 1 Dutch, 1 Nevisian, I'm not sure which part of the planet this country is, that were on the plane. And the preliminary information that we have is that we are coming to Zambia to carry out some business transactions. As you may appreciate, we decided to give you a preliminary release. We have not yet interrogated the matter to an extent where we can give you a comprehensive position, where we'll tell you now this is where we are heading to. So these are the nationalities.
Just as a follow-up, the items that have been seized, is it Kaunda?
Wena tuletekwa. Ukulamu na abantu kwata bakwata mano. Kulamu na bena Zambia kwata mano tulifupuga. Ine mailo nafune mkushindika bakashwandi. Bale ya kubulaya. Ilo nafikile pa airport. Na sangile ndeke ishiri 6 ishale moneka branding new parking ne ku VIP parking nga mwawingila ve pa airport palapa ba indeke ya kale Zambia Airways ba bikana indi epo parking ne 6 aeroplanes and they were looking brand new aeroplanes. Na isaiba no mutwali nankwe na ina bashimutale na tushaba Zambia Airways na bawo dendeke na tikeshindeke shatanta mapa kushaba Zambia Airways na bawo dendeke na babati awo dimbikwati na bawo dendeke indeke shoshale moneke shamtengo pali imoyo inendeke basanga mo $5 million basanga mo firearms basanga mo na suspected gold according to the DEC. Lelo Minister of Mines aletwe bati those 621, whatever, did not contain God. Kabuswe, Kabuswe, Kabuswe. How many times have I called you? My dear brother, political power and political offices are very temporal. Are very temporal. Niwe somuntu uingesa nendeke shafla fidia mukusenda 124 kgs of copper. Muntu nshu ingesa nendeke shireshingi fidia expensive aeroplanes. Umwadina $5 million ukwisa mukusenda 124 kgs of copper na aluminium. Mweba mnyina nechindike ni kwa abantu. Ukufumele lo imweba MMD government muleke no kweba abantu wadi wakabolala. Muleke okuita wa PF wadi wakabolala. Imweba UPND ni mweba pompwe munshibila nsala wa mapiete wa puti ni mweba susula.
So that are we counting? Now I wanted to be able to start we need to be sure that 100. Yeah.
That is strong, that has been able to unearth such an issue. So that's what you do as a leader. But if a leader, you hear that there is a lion there, without even proving that there is a lion, you rush to the whole community and say there is a lion. People will scamper in all directions. People will end up dying, yet there was no lion. Have you seen Zambians, the people that are trying to aspire to be your leaders? Leadership entails nga wamfwe chintu chafi na leader. First ikala tondolo. Wait. Digest it. Know what it is. Then go to the media and speak. Now, who has looked foolish here? I'm just trying to be frank. Because as a leader, learn to get all your facts. In fact, there are intelligent ways of getting facts before you even begin to speak, so that you are known that me, I speak the loudest. No. That is why this government.
Thank you very much. This is a hot topic. Call us on 0773 783 785 or 773 841 872 WhatsApp, or 773 783 785 and 0773 841 872. This is a hot topic. We want to hear your views. Socialist Party President, Dr. Fred Membe, I think asked pertinent questions that I want to repeat here. He said, number one, who owns the aircraft? Where did the money come from? Where was the money going? Who owns the gold, the contraband, whatever it is? Who owns that? Who are the individuals involved and the reason of bringing such huge amounts to Zambia? We have our first caller today. I want to take as many calls as possible and kindly make your points brief because it's a hot topic. We need to listen to as many people as possible. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Endita yama mulishani. Endita. Bake Kenneth Chileshe mkwai. Where are you from?
Ili asifwire nzofu. Echimbu chinye mfui. Wamwamba.
Ubushiku insofu ifuile. Eli ashidivapo.
Eli ashidivapo na ngumu siku ufwire umukote. Siku ufwire nzofu nechimbu atachari. Babembo kuturanda.
Mkwai.
Wamwamba mwalimu na kukodiza msangu kakopa.
Mkwai yo London yama.
Ipotelori ya kuri mwe bakutwakuja mwe bakwete ba opposition bakutrandira ko muno cyaro. Bakabukezo barandire mu wewe atari bana babo ifu mu cyaro ewe cyaro ba PF mwalishemo awamya communication na kumushina ifikati yo kura kwali kopa kwali god takwali kopa mrevo wa mwamba wewe. Hello?
Mkwai.
Uwo bufero bale kwa bambe okutubepa vera bepo bufyawe. Wa ndege muzambe kuti ise ikire nani. Oshe ero yare ikira nani washire kiriya. Ingere ndama shari mo shiria. Shari shabanani. Ngani ba PF chiri fiso efi. Nama grade ngana esa mukore pula. Nakuri nama grind ngana afika kuti vere pule ndeke yo ine bamune firi mukati. Nomba ni jira chukuma. Chikumine nkume vambo kuramie vaimwe kukura kutua muno chavati takuri wakurandapo nga mwalandapo takuri wakurandapo eri ashiji natuho minister of home affairs vachiranda vachaki mwimbo kwevati takuri wakuchirandapo muno charwa muntu wonse wakurandapo eri ashiji first vapemberi ngere lero tse mukurakanishwa kuranda vamwamba wese
aona kana
ode wama yema yezo zetwalanda ngavitwa
ngakuri mukula with scandal bonse vale vapa media na ma press conference
bonse vapa media ukuthi umfweni yabo mwavotere umwafunishepo efe watire nifi no be scandal ikuri chaura chitenga na bamwamba wesu nachikumana kundeke tufiro kwenda muweka charo
awe mwalanda yamba leken taking eka koka ambia akatwa umfefe mwalanda leken twasuke kona bambi. Thank you very much. Please go be brief in your submissions. This is a hot topic. I think I would like to accommodate as many views and as many calls as possible. Good evening, sir. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Okay, this is Fred. I'm calling you from Solwezi.
Fred from Solwezi. Make your contribution, my brother.
Yes, first and foremost, my contribution is based on this public, events that have been unfolding. Yeah, first of all, the statements from our leaders, these people giving statements are not adding up.
Yeah.
And first of all, no one is accusing the president. It's just that people don't understand. It's a public thing. Nobody has accused the president. The president is not even involved. But the thing is, people just want answers.
Yeah.
First of all, for me, even when I've never been in government, but the question is, the airport is not a place where you can do transaction. On the terminal, you start exchanging goods.
Yes.
So that's an error in the first place. Yes, we know people can fly from outside the country. They can come with money they declare to cash.
Oh, sorry, my brother. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Evans from Manza.
Evans from Manza. Kindly make your contributions and be brief.
Yes, honorable Ngalanda Palidi bari konke bueno sana kozi ngamwalolekesha irendeke Teti landing from Zambia okwabula shani so balolekeshe po muli abachikulira bali muri iriashi kone kulingana.
Okay, thank you. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Mike Nyirongo kutumira kutoka kuchipata Eastern Province.
Mike Nyirongo, kambampo ni mbuya wanga.
Nkani amena ili hapa niyo futa kwa masio futa kwa mbili. Nanga Mozambia muno kule mtu amene saziwa godi. Mozambia muno kule mtu saziwa madola zikuti ni 11 ni 5. So chamina funa kupusisa ndani ndana napadwa manje hapa umene uromevi mwana wa grade 1 kumuza kuti uyu ni bali kusiana bali kulingana. So ufutu zapedipo na kuti vapani vambiri ukawara ndiyo mankarapo. So akambecha pechirungama kuti diru ija inafauka noti kuti uza kuti sinari gold inari zinc inari chani nanga poto nambare pari zingalingani. So akambecha kuti diru wanaitana na mashares mwamene umo. So wenangu wanafaura ndicha akambe kuti diru yafauka ndarama zija zibwerere Mazambians noti pamene akamba ifa ndifaboza ija inari god for you and inaenda kurapu nanga wakurapu ni waboza. Are you sure wakurapu ni waboza?
Yeah. No, thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much.
Hey, wako Bank of Zambia wajarapete ndarama kuti 11 ni waboza. Apa manje ibera muri 6 ibera muri 5. So ne wakawana na chabe ni waboza note zikamba TPF inalia wakawana na 11 akawana kai yoshito onekera apa manje. So those are 50 ni wakawana na they don't cheat us. Tuzawaona 2026 tuzawaona ngati wapitirire.
Yeah. No, thank you very much. Yeah, Fred Membe asked, how did the named State House security officer manage to escape with from a secure facility with $5 million? DEC announced $5 million, but Fred Membe disclosed that was actually a state official who also got away with $5 million. We haven't had an answer to date on this matter. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Jonathan Nyongo.
Mr. Jonathan Nyongo, kindly speak up.
I would like to contribute something like whatever that has happened.
Yes.
Is something that is clear to all of us. Talking about the Bank of Zambia, I think something that has been violated with the huge sums of money that has been landed at the airport.
Yes.
And on the side of the contrabands of God, I think no one would accept that it has turned into zinc and these other metals. That's a lie. So it's high time that the Zambian people shouldn't be cheated. The truth must be told.
Yeah.
And the marginalized Zambians who are poor need answers to whatever that has happened. So I think the statement that the minister made earlier on today, they shouldn't stop people from finding the truth. People need answers.
Yeah. Okay, my brother, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I'm trying to accommodate as many calls as possible. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Zulu from Solwezi.
Zulu from Solwezi. Make your contribution, my brother.
Yes, Honorable Ambassador Wari. Issue, I'm a supporter for UPND, but I don't support if HTKF. In support because nalivomba po sana na God na kopa mama inzomu na po na no son of God na kopa. So if you bare to be perfect, that it suminishana ifo. So imwe maratu wa fuiri shako Kichibeko bwino cause if trafiro kulanda date tulande sana but timwe bene mtu afuirishe ko so tukwate ko change into chambi kuama cause corruption number yambo kuba sana on and on every time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hi, my name is Edson Chipalo.
Edson
I'm calling from the United States.
Which state, my brother?
I'm in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, Chicago, Illinois. Okay. Make your contribution, my brother.
Yes, I'm just disappointed with what is going on in Zambia. And I am not happy with the current government because this is the most corrupt government I've ever seen.
Continue, Edson, continue. Continue, Edson, continue.
This is the most foolish. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I'm saying that.
Okay, thank you. I think Edson from Illinois, Chicago, has made his point. Yeah. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, wamwamba mwishani wa presidenti.
Entita yama ni mwebani.
Inevo chishimba ndentumira nde kundola.
Kundola yama la ndenpo wangu wale tumabafula.
Mkwai ba president. Ba president la trapo kuishiba ilendeke. Into yaishile na madolazi nangu na kopa ine kodi yaishile nendeke nangu chaishani. Nangu firafintu vale filongela pa airport kuti batwale kunze ya chalo. Epata fo kushiwa godi ngala yafumine kunze ya chalo kuita muno mukatikesu ka Zambia. Epo mufwairishe ba president yapo. Zishire bwino kuti datibishe godi ile yafumine kuchalo chimbi. Era isa mu Zambia nangu yali no kufuma mu Zambia ukuya kuchalo chimbi. Na totera ba president.
Thank you very much. I think the facts recovered so far is that there were two planes involved. One, the local one was with gold, and the foreign plane, the plane that came from Egypt, is the one that was carrying the cash, the millions of dollars. The gold was from here, from Zambia or wherever it was, but it was in Zambia. And the other colleagues, the other guys came with them millions of dollars. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes,
Mr. Banda, make your contributions quickly.
After this camera, mambo kwanda no shatani muri cyane gorgeous muri kopa wageza mu percentage. Charita mlambo se tsara chefin is genuine good. At the end of the day, mambo kwachinja chini. Those dollars, genuine dollars. Let the day around genuine dollars. Then end of the day, mambo kwachinja. It's not good. Let us be honest and this is under Christian nation. Put on the shinka. Bring the end of shinka. Ukavoa kwa Zambia. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Ronald Mumba from Mundola.
Ronald Mumba from Mundola. Make your contributions.
My contribution is that if you want to land minister, go over the Bapen Telefi to the Copa Shani. Copa ya dipino kuchila God, you know. Yeah, and you know, Copa, yali be up sana. But imoine, I'll give you an example. Hello?
Yes, to learn from.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Like there is the Copa cathode, there is Copa blister, there is Copa anode. But you don't say Copa, but different make each combo the sharp sana. Even that mineral, It's also good, but wherever I pangira muyali be apsana according iskombola bakompya. So you want to be poco but no by pen therapy take up to go kuma minds like Pika good mind. That's right. We all know how it looks like. So if you want to be poco but no teshani tabari tuwafuanga vikaira chalo abena Zambia ngatuwa kubenga amanyuzi abasungu balanda sana president. Zambia is the richest country, but you find that tikala kwati tatoa kwatanangu pimu ngatuwa lonesha history ya Zambia yaisa mku wati ama miruzi ayaba mu Zambia yaiba pure, especially copper.
Yeah.
Yaiba pure, the whole Africa. But you find that.
Thank you, Ronald. Natasha, Natasha, thank you very much. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Mwansa from Mwense.
Mwansa from Mwense. Make your contribution, my brother. Is that my brother or my sister?
My brother, sir.
Oh, brother. Okay, yes.
This is unfortunate scandal, and actually, a lot of questions actually arises from this situation.
Yes.
To begin with, the fact that this scandal can be investigated by the investigative wing of government, and it is in public domain. I think it signifies that the investigative wings somehow are independent. However, there is one question that I need to pose. Do we have evidence as citizens that this plane was parked at the presidential pavilion? Another question that I would like to be given an answer is, amongst us citizens and the opposition, we counted the money that it was 11 billion. Then Becky reports that it was 5.7. Because we saw this on the media. But do we have the evidence that indeed it was 11 billion? Those are the answers that we need from you as the opposition, so that we can also have the concrete, information. Now, what I'm not comfortable with is the fact that this scandal, which is dangerous, some media houses actually are blowing it out of proportion, and some politicians actually want to gain political mileage from it, which is unfortunate. There's one thing that I can say confidently.
Conclude quickly so that we allow others.
Exactly. I'm concluding now.
Yes, sir.
It could be that there is a bigger fish which is connected to this issue, and that bigger fish should be known by all citizens. But I think the president should be trusted. The way the Sujite issue was handled, people who were connected to it were fired. I think let's give the president time also to act on this one.
Thank you very much.
Creating the storm in a cup of tea will not be okay for us.
Thank you very much. Bamwansa says we could be creating a storm in a teacup. No, Bamwansa. Even by standards that DEC released, $5.6 million is a lot of money. Do not underestimate it. Whether it was $11 million, but just $5.6 million carried in an aircraft comes to your country is a big matter. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Mute your other device. Mute your other device. Gerald. Okay, make your contributions. But Gerald, where are you calling us from? Solwezi, wonderful. Make your contribution, my brother.
Northwestern province.
Yes.
Northwestern. Hello?
We can hear you, sir.
Yes. Mr. Mamba.
Mkwai, landeni ya makulandeni. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. Mkwai. Utakuwa wemiti ukuli konse. Utakuwa wemiti mufipatala. Nangu walande shani wa minisa utakuwa wemiti. Thank you very much. Colleagues, we are discussing the gold scandal. The DEC on Tuesday, 15th August, seized the following: $5.6 million, 5 pistols, 7 magazines, 126 rounds of ammunition, 600 pieces of suspected gold weighing 127.2, and equipment used for measuring gold. Then Basa is our Minister of Mines. Basa fifunda ola. Bebelao take gold, ni zinc, ni copper, mwisaka mana. He tried to water down such a huge crisis, such a huge criminal activities that occurred, that was transacted on the secure space of the apron of the airport. So call us and join the conversation. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Calling you from Mansa.
You are Poka Busotwa Ishwaniwa, Minister of Mines. Kindly use your original names.
Okay, I'm Kabuswe.
Okay.
Yes, so these are the questions that need to be asked by Honorable Ambassador. So number one is, sure, private jet ambassador fuma kunanika kuvulaya kuba sungu ya isa Muzambia, they burn jet fuel kwisa mkusenda copper. By the way, copper wa Honorable of copper I think is less than somewhere $9,000. So meaning Raisa from Kuvulaya with a private jet for burning a fuel. If we some send 124 kgs of copper, which is less than maybe $2,000. Sure. On top of that, with the guns, with the rifles, with 127 rounds of ammunition. Because copper, you $2 billion. Sense for Minister. Error number 2. Up to now, how come we don't know the perpetrators who are involved in this? The same Egyptians and other people who are involved. Up to now, we don't know the names. Where are the names being kept as a secret? And we know them. Even if we are still under investigation, can we just know the names of Minister Joa?
Yeah. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. You know, just the other day, DEC released a statement that they had arrested 3 officials from the oil marketing company for theft and money laundering worth 4 million kwacha. They said, we have jointly charged Kenneth Mazivisa, age 29. They named the filling station, they named his address, they also named Anton Sindala, they also named all the suspects involved. And if you go to their site, every arrest, they name the culprits. But in this case, they've just told you that they named Zambian. Why are they hiding the name? Why are, for the first time, if they abandoned their practice of naming suspects? Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Rafa Onkata, calling from Lusaka.
Yes, Mr. Rafa Onkata, make your contribution, sir.
Saturday, I was escorting someone who was going to the airport to pick the vehicle that the boss had left there. That's when I saw indication news. One time, you know, when I was just entering the airport. And one of the planes, and I even asked the gentleman that I was escorting to the airport. I think and the latest models of planes. What are these planes doing here?
Yeah.
Then secondly, I was very suspicious when I saw those planes. Then secondly, the statement about Pangileva Minister of Mining. Perfect what happened when he was beginning his press briefing. He kind of warned the journalists that I want all the phones to be off before I cancel this press briefing. And then cancelling the press briefing, does he know how serious this matter is? The minister behaved as though it was a favor that he was doing to the nation to give us that information. Come on, it's not a favor. This is a very big scandal. He did not need to display such kind of pomposity. I want to tell you, it was Zambian. Anyway, I'm so happy.
Thank you very much, Rafa.
I can say a lot of things.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Kindly mute your line, kindly mute your devices, kindly mute your device if you wish to contribute.
Okay. I've muted.
Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Piri Daliso from Kafiwe.
Yes, Mr. Piri Daliso.
Yeah, the contribution on this issue here got here airport. Yet to Pakistan, muri regime tulimwe. Just want to express my thoughts that you can't be surprised of these happenings because especially for the assertions that which were made by the Minister of Mines saying that God was actually nickel. Reason being that a lot of things have been more like miracles in this regime. For example, nanombaka 14 hours taktakwa kadi kita transform kuya muri 2 years. Maimona. So the paper again kwebati na ilya golide yale moneka golide nefya kupimira file moneka those utensils are used to test God. But what yalu kanike who can carry 100 kilograms of copper? Why can guns to protect copper? Because copper is sold in tonnages. Tons, 35 tons, 100 tons. That's when you can make money in copper. It's only gold which can be sold in grams. Now I am I'm a precious stones like my diamonds, they are sold in carats, but in grams it's things like gold that can be sold. That's why you have just 100 kgs of gold. But the copper is dark copper number. So tatupapire sana because naka 14 hours akatraira abafyashi beso abatemikwa n'ekyalo kali aluka muri 2 years number.
Thank you very much, my brother. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello?
Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Please contribute before we cut you. Make your contribution.
Yes, this is Israel calling you from Lusaka.
Okay. Make your contribution, sir.
Yeah, we want to find out, sir, what is the criteria of a plane coming into the country?
Okay. I'll explain. At least I'm aware about it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ambassador.
So for a plane to come to this country, whether chartered, private, presidential, commercial, passenger, you need clearance. You need to file in your path. What route will you use? The number, the plane, its registration, its number plate. Then passengers. Are you carrying passengers? Are you carrying passengers and luggage? Are you carrying cargo? You need to make those declarations. And who's the receiving party here? Who is receiving? Are you an airline? If you're an airline, then you explain. But if it's a private charter, you need to explain who are you coming to. Tukafikirira kuisa na yondeke alikuwa tafiria. Hence the numerous questions that we are asking. It's a very thorough process that when you are bringing in a plane. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Good evening.
Yes. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Please make your contributions. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Cyrus.
Hello.
Yes.
Where are you calling us from?
Cyrus Chiwe. I'm calling you from within Lusaka.
Cyrus Chiwe, make your contribution, my brother.
My contribution, Mr. Mwamba, I think Zambia, we should not be taken like we are stupid, because the way it is, this jet that landed, we don't really know to say who gets it in the first place, who gave them the authority to park in the restricted space, And really, we need to follow it accordingly, so that we can have exactly, to know, we can get to know what is happening on the ground. Because right now there are a lot of speculations that are happening now that are being, undertaken over the same. You see, so I think we need to be taught the truth, and I believe, some people, yes, I know there is politics and so on and so forth, but I think, my own opinion, I think we should let the people the authority to give us the true and verified statement over the same. Sometimes there is politics involved, and people would say, okay, it's and so on and so forth. But I think we have the authorities, doing their duty. So we need to know at least only the truth. You understand, that will set the situation free. So maybe for me, I personally, to come up and say maybe it is this and that, no, I think that's why there is the government, to understand, in place to give us the verified, the verified, report that we need concerning the same. sometimes I just would urge people not to just speculate, because this is a big thing which sometimes can, can bring some problems. So I believe
thank you, my brother. You've made your contribution. I think we've heard you. Thank you very much. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Msonda calling.
James Msonda.
No. Yes, Msonda.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Good evening, Ms. Msonda.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I just have a quick contribution and a question to you, Honorable. Now that I'll begin with a question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, from the way the Minister of Mines spoke yesterday, and
we seem to be having a problem with Yes, my brother.
yes, my question is, from the way people are trying to defend that it's not gold, it's copper, as now, I want you to assume, or maybe to get a lesson from it. What lesson have you gotten, especially?
Sorry, we seem to. I think he's on WhatsApp, and the other calls are, the data calls are disturbing. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Well, they're calling from Kitwe.
Yes, Mr. Bwada from Kitwe.
Yes. Just comment on the gold scandal.
Yes.
So the first thing that I want to talk about is, I'll talk about the deck.
Speak out, speak louder, sorry.
Okay, the DC, the deck, those people
DC.
found the gold.
Yes.
So are they telling us that the time they declared that it is gold, they didn't check, they didn't use the instrument to know whether it is gold or not? And now come after some time, then this is not gold, it's copper. Do we have now miracles in Zambia where minerals can change within a short period of time?
Okay.
And if at all that wasn't gold, why did they lie to the nation? Because they alarmed the situation to say they have found gold in a plane. Well, they alarmed the situation. Because that is total confusion.
Okay.
And before you announce something, you should have brief facts to say, okay, this is this. It is God. They know that that was God. Now the problem maybe here is that the owner of that God must be someone who is known. That's why now they are trying to come out and defend to say this is not God, it's copper. And I've never seen copper being packed like the way God is. We usually see copper going out of our country. So my concern is these people we trusted with power to say they will change things, I think they're not helping us. Looking at a very scandal. Again, they are trying to cover it up. So I think we are in trouble. Somehow, somewhere we're in trouble.
Thank you very much. To be clear, DEC used these words: 600 pieces of suspected gold weighing 127.2 kg. So they didn't really say gold, but 602 pieces of suspected gold, just to be fair to DEC. So they seized $5.6 million, 5 pistols, 7 magazines, 126 rounds of ammunition, then 602 pieces of suspected gold weighing 127.2 kg, and then equipment used for measuring gold. They also seized a plane, a Swiss private jet, a Bombardier Global Express 6000 that had flown and landed at the international airport from, I think it took many flights, but it left on the 8th August. On 13th August, it landed in Lusaka from Geneva, Switzerland, passed through Cairo, passed through Addis Ababa, went to Somalia, and then came to Lusaka. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Eugene here, your usual custom.
Eugene, now you've been crowded out today.
Yes, but.
Yes, Eugene.
Hello?
Yes, Eugene. Make your contribution quickly.
Yes, yeah, you, of course, you just give me some few minutes. One thing I'm getting surprised is, Avena Zambia having, the way, sometimes you think that everyone in Zambia is a Christian. So there is no one who can do wrong things, or there is no one who can scam. But if we just look back just some few weeks ago, those people, the marketeers, they were scammed. They were contributing share chirimba, and they were scammed in the same Zambia. So now when this issue comes up to say, okay, I want to validate a God, you are trying to dispute to say, no, take copper. No, that is God. It's like you don't know that people get scammed. It's just a simple thing. Those people that came with a plane came with money. They had guns. They came to get gold from Zambia, from Zambians who had gold in Zambia. So, number do we have for Kaparapene? Because I'm sure I never shouldn't no. If it wish them to send that, take gold. So why should you give them money? Of course, the law enforcement agents. So one thing that we need to learn as Zambians is that these issues do happen because there are a lot of people that have been scammed. People get scammed through mobile money in the same Zambia. So what is so difficult to scam people from outside using gold, the same fake gold? It's coated. I'm sure, Mr. Mwamba, you know how real gold looks like. Those pieces that you saw, can you say that's gold? Even from you looking at it, you can even say this is not genuine. Even when you test it, I mean, it's not a genuine thing unless you say you know the one who had gold. And you are able to confirm that this is genuine gold, the government is lying. Yes, you bring out the facts to say, okay, these people are lying. But if someone has tested it and they are telling you to say this is fake, why are you not disputing the money they are saying they have gotten? Because they have said this is genuine money. The $5.something million, that's genuine money. No one is disputing that. But the issue is there is this fake gold that these guys wanted to sell to people who had money. That's where the issue is. So now they need to investigate. Just wait, just a bit. So now the issue is we need to pick up lessons from this. This is a reality. We need to wake up and put up some controls in the country because these things do happen. People get scammed. A lot of Zambians get scammed. Is that Kamono farm? That's a scam. Oh, there are so many scams in Zambia. So we need to put up proper controls to protect citizens. It's good that such a thing can be opened up so that people are able to learn. It's not something strange that should drag us. Our concern should be let justice prevail. That should be our concern because we know the facts. Let's give enough time to DEC to do their job. Then if they fail, then that's when we can come in. But for now, let's allow them to do their job. They present the facts. Then we argue according to how we'll be able to present our facts as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Eugene. Thank you. Eugene is a regular caller here, and I gave him a lot of time. But Eugene, I hope you can hear me. Our concerns are very clear. I think we want the details. Who cleared the plane? How was it cleared? Why was it allowed to park in an authorized place? A presidential pavilion is a secure place. how did we allow this transaction to take place at the apron of the airport? Are transactions supposed to take place at the apron of the airport? You have legitimate places where you do such transaction. Was this a scam? Whatever it is, we don't know yet. Was this God? Whatever it is, we don't know yet. But an illegal transaction happened at the tarmac of the airport. Who gave the authority? We know for strangers to come to the airport where their limit can be. Who allowed others to come into the tarmac, which is a properly secure place? How did we allow these transactions to begin to happen for such a long and extended period? Who was the plane cleared to? Who was it registered? Who was the receiver here? Who was receiving that plane? Who was it? There are just so many questions, Eugene. Before we talk about the scam and the gold, we need to ask all these legitimate questions. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Yes, Mr. Bwadia, make your contribution, sir.
I think we debated today on Facebook. Honorable Ambassador Mwamba, my contribution is that, you know what, because of you politicians, you have politicized this thing, which is not correct. These things, let me tell you, we live on the copper belt, where people are being scammed of copper every day, losing millions, and not what you're talking about, that 5 million. There are people who are players in this country who are doing a lot of copper theft. They even enter the mines, they show people their warehouses, copper coming from Congo, everywhere. So the only problem is that you politicians, you want to take advantage and politicize and kill your friends. This is just a genuine scam which people have been doing all along. What you need to do now is let us work together as Zambians to protect our country, and let the security agencies go through the necessary, and let the people who have been scandalizing others and messing up the Zambian name come through. Now, if UPF and UPN, they're going to be fighting, this person took this code, that is fake code. We have seen that fake code for over 3 years. People parading it on Facebook.
Thank you, Abwadia.
So
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so let us work together as a country and as people of one Zambia, one nation, and let these criminals be caught, and they are tarnishing the name of this good country. And let's not politicize. No, people are going to be embarrassed because none of these politicians are involved. The scandalous people are all over the show.
Thank you, Abwadia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. Nawa, calling just from within Osaka.
Yes, Mr. Nawa.
Yes, I just want to express myself over the issue of the jade that was found with gold. To start with, we all believe in the statement which says not all that glitters is gold. Do you agree?
True.
So later, after the investigations were done, I know and I have just come to notice that a number of people have just decided to come up with their own speculations. So at the moment, the best we can all do is to pay attention, to give chance to the investigative wings and do their job.
Thank you, Bonawa. You are sure that we should give law enforcement agencies enough time to make their contribution. Thank you very much. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, boss.
Good evening.
I'm calling from Kitwe. Nyangwe is my name.
Basi Nyangwe London Pomkwai.
Mkwai. Kanabesa. Usho ambia balefo kutati bale ita defendi yo shaina shani awe batirati isi kokola silalubana. Bafire batupera bwangu update ifijitike kuchiro kutati bale tuwe bati yo fiakitesi mwarishiba icyo mirandu ingi cyo kubera zamba corruption mulandu wako ati ngapala tifyala kokola pala tapanaba kubosha naba kuchitashani na shani fyonse fyo so bafire batwe bwangu ifire kitika noti kutati yo awe ifwe yo take up yo ine story mumfire itampira yo take up ni godi yo ineyo eile tupera nomba na mnafia So bafire batweba wangu batira typical kola siralubana.
Chachine.
Because
thank you very much.
So batwebe bwangu batupere bwangu update yo sire kitikani not that batambe kwa tweba tyo kitikani yo nifi yo take up adijani they go ni kopa ayo my stories no mbaya kufa kutati wewe nga fyako kola ngata batupere bwangu answer ni pala bana no bufufu ntungu pa opere bwala tamba
we need to emphasize there are various laws that have been broken. Money laundering laws, allowing illegal trade at the apron of the airport, breaching secure and secluded, guarded spaces like the airport. There are various laws that have been broken. Even if the gold was fake, it doesn't take away all these issues that we are concerned about. The laws have been broken. The said transaction, whether legal or whether with genuine gold and real money, occurred at the apron of the airport, secure place. And we have information that it actually occurred, at the presidential pavilion. That is even a far secure place than your ordinary apron, ordinary tarmac where the plane land. We have so many calls. Let me not be the one to talk. I want you to talk. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. We missed this one. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Your name is and where you are calling us from.
My name is Kasalu, Ambassador. I'm calling you from within Lusaka.
Mr. Kasalu, make your contributions.
Ambassador, you are doing a great job asking pertinent questions that those who are calling the whole thing a scam are ignoring. Not too long ago, we saw people being removed from the street on account that they are doing street vending. So if that is a scam, then that is top-notch street vending, where you get to our planes being parked in private, secured presidential pavilion, and huge sums of money transactions being involved, and people must just ignore it and say it was a gold scandal. It shouldn't be like that. We need to understand. Answers must be provided to questions that we are posing. How was the plane cleared? Who allowed it? Who is involved? Once those answers to such questions are provided, then we can dismiss the whole thing and say it's a scandal. But as it stands, even if it's high level street corner airport dealing, those questions must still be answered. Thank you, Ambassador. You are doing a good job.
Thank you very much. I can see Eugene, you are trying to call. Kindly call. So that we also hear. I think you want to do a comeback. For me, I am questioning the transaction, the place where it took place. Before we even establish whether the gold was real, the transaction is illegal. It can't take place on the tarmac of the airport in the manner that it was done. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Okay, my name is Elias. I'm calling from Lusaka.
Yes, Elias, make your contributions.
Okay, for me, I'm just concerned about the story that Fred member posted.
Yeah.
Because Fred member posted something yesterday where he said that some state house security official ran away with $5 million.
Yes.
Yeah, so if that story is not true, why hasn't Fred member been arrested? Because he's accusing state house of such a serious crime.
Yeah.
And then on the Zambia whistleblower today, there's also another story where they have actually named the official actually. They just posted something about 30 minutes ago where they have named the official that actually ran away with that money.
Who has named the official?
So
which
media can clear that? That would be better.
Yeah, which media has named the official?
Zambia whistleblower.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Eugene, please call back. Sorry, I keep on missing your line, but call back. We want to hear you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Charles is calling you from Kitwe.
Yes, Charles.
Mr. Mwamba, how are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
Mr. Mwamba, you have already supposed when you are praising and do. How come by praising and suddenly become government spokesperson want us to give them give the investigative wing time. So, I mean, when the DEC boss indicated to say they have given the code back to Minister of Mines for testing, I knew, and I even told my friend to say, the next statement, they will say it's fake. Okay? And we knew that statement, there is an indication from the DG. He indicated to say, we have given for testing. If that deal was for the copper, how come the money, and just 127 kg, how come that huge amount of money? That's one. Two, Mr. Mwamba, those people, okay, where is this Zambian? Because if you arrest, okay, if you find someone who is a Zambian who is stealing a horse pipe or what, bararumbula national yakwe atwikatakantwa akira imefi napamushpa kwe nemfu barayirumbula uyo muntu minani mu Zambian tumva ve allege a Zambian was involved. Wamon bakabuso bali abanisa mukutwela iyo and bakabuso the demeanor from the minister is so defensive. Who are they trying to protect? Who are they trying to protect?
But Charles, those are the questions we are asking. Thank you very much. That was all our concern. That DEC holds a press conference. I think, let me see what time DEC held the press conference. And Honorable Kabuso, we can establish the times because it was live. So Drug Enforcement Commission held, just a minute. So Drug Enforcement Commission yesterday held this meeting, it's just saying one day ago. But anyway, there was a very short space between the minister's press conference and DEC's press conference. And many people asked, at what stage did DEC do these laboratory tests and where is the lab report to show that this was zinc, copper, nickel, and others? Eugene, you're on the line. Please tell us your, make your contribution because you had come earlier.
The same people that authorize the normal planes and all that, those that have been given authority to give way, that, okay, this plane is coming, or give clearance. That's where the system is rotten. Who steals the government money? Isn't it not the civil servants? It's the civil servants. Then they take advantage of politicians, but the main culprits who steal government money are the civil servants. So it's the system. We need to look at the system. Where is the weakness? This case is helping us to tighten any weaknesses that we have in the system. It's an opportunity for us to tighten something. So let's not look at it in the negative way. Then coming to where you are saying why haven't the names been given out or been charged? They can't be charged now because the case is under investigation. What charge are they going to give them? They need to take time. Even what you referred to.
Yeah,
okay, let's look at the yes. Okay, tell me.
Yeah, when DEC arrests someone,
yes,
they usually name the suspects. If they've even proceeded to charge them, they will even also give us the details of the charges accompanying that. And that is why you've seen many Zambians are very annoyed. That why are you for the first time hiding details of these people? Because you are quick to usually disclose the details of the suspects. So continue, make your contribution.
No, we need to look at the matter here. This matter is it's not a small matter, this thing. It's a sensitive matter. So there is no way they can, because in the naming of the same culprits, it should jeopardize the investigation. Give them time to do their work. If you have something which they are not saying, you give them time, because this case will go to court. So if you know that what they are saying is fake, then you are able to counter. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example.
Eugene, the suspicion.
Okay, come in.
Remember what you just said about the plane being cleared, that there could be weaknesses there. That is a fear of Zambians. Yes. That is usually an attempt to cover up when issues happen. So these questions are very legitimate. There is very little faith in law enforcement agencies. That people are even doubting statements from
who made us aware of this thing? Is it
social
who made
media.
us aware? Isn't it not the law enforcement agency?
Social media.
No, it's the law enforcement agency.
No.
Yeah, but
social
where
media.
did he get it from?
The DC had
So
their
social
press
media are
conference.
arrested.
DC at their press conference the following day, the matter had been burning from whistleblowers, from traffic.
But the people that arrested those, they are the dick. They arrested those people. Social media, we're just too quick because it's not everything on social media which is true. Some of the information is false. So we need to wait for. Let me finish. Let me finish. Yes. So this is one thing that we need to know at the end of it. Because if we are told to say this, let's give DEC time to give their reports. Then we counter check what they are saying. Because if they start mentioning names, some culprits will run away. So let's give them time. They will do a good job. I know they'll do a good job.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, Eugene. Eugene came back and is insisting that we give law enforcement agencies space. I think something I also agree with, but we have legitimate duty to ask these questions as citizens. We have a right to question when things are not happening. Who went to the media first? It was the minister. The minister tried to water down that Zambians needed to worry about nothing because this was just zinc, copper, tin, and nickel. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
How are you?
I'm very well, sir. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm Felix, calling you from Eastern.
Felix, make your contribution, sir.
Yes, Mr. Mwamba, are you also one of the aspiring candidates for presidency for Zambia? Are you going to take that post of aspiring as a president?
Felix, make your contributions. I'll answer after you so that Chiramuna got to kwete chochise. Make your contributions and I'll answer you when you've cut the line.
Okay. Yes, number one, amano mamburu aba Mwamba. Yafuma mwifwesa ya mchuru. One day you will become a president yourself. And chikaba pali imwe na imo. So, take any mutima, tell any abanenu inshita. Let them find out. So if you are bringing a lot of speculations, so if so we need to listen to them. Then you are also preempting questions they push up after Ngabasta find out. You are giving them solutions in a manner.
Felix, thank you very much. I think we've got your point. Thank you very much. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello.
Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I can't disclose my name.
Okay. Anonymous. No, we do allow anonymous calls. Make
anonymous. We've been met before in South Africa.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, in a funeral defense, there's no worse, okay? There's some situation with Mopani, this side. In a funeral, Moflea currently, okay? But there's certain situations where you start to understand. Yes. I think there's a lot of gold coming out somewhere near my property. Yes. If you go near Mufle to Dollar, there's a lot of things which is coming out.
There's a lot of gold coming out from that area?
Lots of it.
Okay.
Yes. No, but Nalanda 15.
Would you report that such a matter to the police?
No.
Details na location. I
think let's just exchange numbers.
Okay, my brother. Thank you very much.
No problem, boss.
Thank you. Sure. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Mr. Mwamba, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much for what you are doing, trying to investigate on the same matter.
Yes.
You're doing it very well, and like this Felix from Eastern Province, what you have said is very wrong. You becoming an aspiring candidate for either Zambia or the coming election doesn't matter on this matter. What we want to know is the ghost scandal. And in the first place, what was the minister's interest in trying to find out this, whether it was both or not copper? That means he's not in an investigating wing. But how come we just jumped into that and they start investigating about the start being a minister of the mine?
Yeah. No, thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. I noticed that from the UPND, their narrative is now changed. First, they want to call this matter just a scam, like it's just a street scam, we shouldn't care about it. Secondly, now they want to question. They want us to give time to law enforcement agencies. Well, UPND, Mulande, if you have newspaper, you will have press conferences demanding answers from government. What has changed? Citizens have a right to demand for these answers. And law enforcement agencies need to know, especially in the advent of social media, that there are many eyes looking at this. I think covering up has now become more difficult than in the past. Yeah, please make your call. Felix from Chipata says, as an aspiring candidate, I'll trust this system. Well, I'll clean up the system. The system can be trusted. It doesn't attract respect and faith from our citizens. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeah, how are you, Mr. Mwamba?
I'm very well, sir. Your name, sir?
Yeah, this is Mpande calling you from within Lusaka.
Mr. Mpande, make your contributions.
Thank you very much. So to start with, let me make clear here that I'm a political person.
Okay.
So I want to look at this issue very, very objectively.
Yes.
You've asked very pertinent questions when you ask to say, how was that plane allowed, to land? But what we should understand is that whatever that plane did, when criminal syndicates, come up when they're dealing in their illegal activities, they do all those things. And from what we heard yesterday from Tayali, not actually saying that his authority is not an authority, but just from what he explained, I think there's some sense that you can get from there. It's like these activities have been happening, and it has not just started now. It's only that now we have, I think, according to me, we have, people that are alert, and we are able to bring these things into fore. If you realize when ACC caught, Faith Musonda with that money, at first they did not mention the name because they were scared to say it's the social media that, brought the name to say, actually it's this person. Later on, that's when they mentioned to say, actually the person whose money was found is this. So we think that these clandestine activities were even happening then. And that is why we have people now keeping millions of dollars, thousands of dollars being found in their boxes. How was that money coming into the country? Could it be the same? Could it be this same activity that this money was coming into the country? We can't allow this, and let's allow the law enforcement, these law enforcement agencies to do their work and make sure that these people are brought to book. So I thought we should look at it from that angle. Yeah,
thank you, Mr. Mpande. I think that's very helpful. All of us want these institutions to work and to work independently. That is why we all condemned the rapid interference from the Minister of Mines. And we're glad that the Minister of Home Affairs put his colleague in check and said, government officials, ministers, stay away from this process. Let DEC lead. I think that should be, all of us, we should support DEC. If it's transparent, if DEC is not being interfered with, and if no one is trying to cover up the crimes that occurred at the apron of the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is John Muvita from Kapiri.
Jones Muvita from Kapiri. Make your contributions.
Yes, Mfemi. So, In my contribution tonight, I don't want to argue with you much, Mr. Mwamba. So, it's very important that we look at the documentary that was aired about 2 months ago about the gold mafias.
Yes.
In Africa. So that
on
itself should, yes. That itself should give us a consensus on how we should enforce our law agencies, like the DEC. They should tighten their security on the airports, on the cross borders, because what is coming out of Zambia, I believe in Kasenseli, there is God. That rumors are saying that there is God. So now with this very case that we are handling, which is in Zambia right now, I believe the very same God mafias are playing a very big role in smuggling God outside Zambia and the entering money outside Zambia. So this case itself we should do. We should tighten the security of Zambia in terms of how best we can deal with the God issues. And if the government
so we should tighten security, isn't it? For our borders and our
tighten the security and make sure that our minerals are used in a nice manner such that each and every citizen can have a benefit to it. This very money can our debt that where we are owing outside countries like China and other countries. So we should take our heart, we should take patience, we should make sure that we restructure these government agencies that are looking, in short, the police, the immigration, they should work hand in hand to ensure that there is law and order.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you, Wamubita. Thank you very much. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes, I'm David.
Yes, David, make your contribution, sir.
Yes, Mr. Mwamba.
Yes.
You know, I'm very disappointed in people.
Yes.
Because they want to justify wrong things. And because of their political affiliation. I think they should look at procedure. What is the procedure for a plane to land? What is the procedure to land at a presidential slot? So those are issues that we are looking at. Yeah. We are suspicious because of all those issues that are surrounding how the plane was treated as VIP. We are not mentioning anyone to be the one who did that. So we should be just objective and see the right thing that was supposed to be done.
Yeah.
And quickly, the minister issues statements. That's where we are worried. Why is it that they want to do away with this case at the earliest possible without trying to investigate? That's my concern.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, David. In fact, what's annoying people is that our people are aware of the amount of gold that is being mined. You know, we have Kasenseli gold. They said it's closed. Yeah, we have Kasenseli. And we hope it is closed like they say it is closed. But we know that gold is being mined in Vubwi, in Petauke, in Chongwe, in Mumbwa. Where does that gold go? And for those that wish to trivialize this matter, is the airport, the authorized designation, the airport tarmac, the designated places to trade in gold and exchange millions of dollars? What regulates international trade? Is that how it is done? People comes with millions of dollars in sacks. What are your regulations regulating the movement of cash all over the world? What are the regulations, including Zambia? Can you turn up? In Zambia, you're only allowed $5,000 to come with that cash in Zambia. How did someone have $5.7 million? Who did they declare it to? So you see that various laws were broken. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Good evening.
Yeah, this is Comrade Mukosa.
Oh, yes, my brother.
How are you today?
I'm well, my brother. You haven't commented in a long time, so I'm glad to receive your call.
Do you know that I'm starting to get disappointed with you?
No. Talk to the topic. Don't talk about me. There's a topic here. We have a gold scandal at the international airport. Make your views. Comrade. Avoid attacking me in person, Mr.
No, I have already stopped. Here is the situation, comrade. The government officials or authorities bring out the issue ya God kuri bakawalala okutagwira. Then as citizens, batigwirira bakawalala babachani bakamba kuti suspected God. Then the same government yamene yakugwira abantu, you the opposition, you have turned it to be bakawalala. I don't agree. I sometimes Zambia is amazing. The way you do politics in Zambia, it's very amazing. Sometimes I think, what is happening in our heads of our politicians? Government, the same government that brought out this matter to say, no, Tagwira Bakawala. And they even mentioned the things, the Amena Gwira Bakawala, Vena Peza Kuri Bakawala. Today, you politicians, Bakubama opposition, Mambo Kamba, Bakawala. What is that? And even when they are telling you that, no, after testing, it is the Ministry of Mines that have got my experts who are supposed to test. After testing, this is what we have found out, that it is not gold. In fact, it is a mixture of minerals. Again, no, it is gold because we saw it. And you know, they say that it is not all the details are gold. Kuyanga na kala si gold. So I'm very surprised the way politics is done in this nation. And to make matters worse is that there is people that are following what the opposition are saying. So if you have information that the authorities that banagwira bajabantu bamene banapima ma minerals yati bamene bakuuzani kuti these people are in detention, tell us more, because now we have started suspecting that maybe you in the opposition, you are part of the syndicate. Because it's like you are arguing with the authority, bamene banagwira bakawalala, bamene batuuza anything that batuuza vintu mwene vidi.
Thank you, Mr. Mukosa. Thank you very much. Thank you. The question on Mr. Mukosa is saying that we should allow the government to do its job, and it's government that exposes this. If Mr. Mukosa, that were true, the Minister of Home Affairs would not have come to rebuke his counterpart, the Minister of Mines. The Minister of Home Affairs would not have come to say politicians and others should stay away from this process until DEC gives us a story. What this tells you is that there is a great attempt to cover up. There is a great attempt to interfere, and it is good that the Minister of Home Affairs came to give, I think, confidence and legitimacy to the lead institution, in this case, the Drug Enforcement Commission. We have, if a minister, DEC issues a statement, they tell us what they've seized. A minister comes just 2 hours later and tells us that this is zinc, copper, iron and tin and nickel. Can you believe him? DEC told you that this is 602 pieces. Did the minister do the test on all these 602 pieces? Why didn't he show the lab report? It tells you that there is a narrative he wanted to convey. He wanted to denigrate the importance of this matter to this country, like this was just a scam. Mr. Minister, this is a serious matter. And I am with Honorable Jack Mwimbu because he came to give confidence to the process that politicians, ministers, government officials stay away, allow DEC to do their job. That is how we should handle this. The minister was clearly lying, Minister Paul Kabuswe. 602 pieces, and he tested them within 2 hours. Let's see that expertise. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
TM.
Yes, TL. Make your contribution, sir.
Mr. Bamba, it's not a contribution as such, but I have some questions about what we are discussing about.
Oh, yes, my brother.
Yes, Mr. Mamba, I'm one of your fans that is following the Grandstone.
Yes.
Most of the time. Are you getting me?
Yes, we can get you. Please make your contribution.
Yes. This morning I was following you when you had the, I don't know whether it is a briefing or a press briefing within the Vice President.
Honorable Given Lubinda, yes, we are at the police service headquarters.
Yes, I remember you said the plane, it went off yesterday. Isn't it?
Yes. Please make your contribution. I'll answer after you've stated.
Yes, but after just some minutes and or hours, the DGM came in and gave the press briefing about the plane, and he said the plane, it is there, and he has even invited the pressmen to go tomorrow and see the planes that are there. So I don't know what is happening, you guys. We are contradicting. We are confusing the people. Are you sure you saw the plane that it has left? Can you tell the truth to the people so that these are very, very serious issues?
Thank you very much.
Where people need to have very good information from you people who are saying you are politician, you have more information.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. TL. Just play the video of the plane that we are talking about before we take more calls. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Nyoni Brown, Mr. Ambassador. Good evening.
Yes, Mr. Nyoni. Kindly make your contributions.
First and foremost, I want to express my deepest sadness for that that Zambians went in big numbers last 2 years to go and vote for a man who has very questionable behavior. If we are going to discuss the issue of SSH Airport, it is very unfortunate, Mr. Ambassador. During the time of HH as the leader of this nation, we have seen the mushrooming of the gays in this country, which he has embraced so well, lovely. This issue of gaysism, homosexuals, to him is not a bother. And the egos always moves in line in a company of egos. Wamankole moves in company of Wamankole. It's a question to this government orders to demolish the houses in Chungola. That people are building on the runway of them. Okay. This was HH and his government was preparing these scandals. And people talked. It went mute about it. Some few days later, people didn't talk about them. And he knows and is boasting to say that Zambians easily forget. There's an issue in what you call this Lower Zambezi. In the next one month or 2 months, UPN will be mining gold and empowering its own people in Lower Zambezi. The whole provincial chairperson will be awarded some business there. We know that there are people who have been, there are certain projects, certain mines who have been repossessed to enrich himself. What about the issue in Lufunsa? People are taking some gold to some places. Every 2-3 days, 2 kg is going to some houses somewhere. Zambians, it's high time that we open our eyes and fight. We we have actually Zambians voted the criminal in that system, in that position as a president. The man can steal with his straight face. It's sad. This is a sad thing. And when people want to talk, the next day will be arrested. People are asking that let HS declare where and how he became so rich. The man cannot even put 1 plus 2. He can't. He cannot. There's no proper trail. This is what kind of business he has been doing over the years, and he can't explain. The man is jumping from one end to the other. There are a lot of things that are coming on board.
Yeah. No, so, thank you very much for those insightful submissions. Thank you very much. Yeah, Brian has asked a very pertinent question. We demolished 300 houses at Kasupe Airport in Chingola. Were we preparing for this kind of transactions? Was it just the demolition of these houses to clear the airport because it was encroached land? And, he's been referring to Sausage Airport. Everyone knows the remark around Sausage Airport. I think it was very unfortunate to refer to such an award-winning international airport as Sausage. He's also asked about why is Zambia now accepting this, gay lifestyle? Is this normal? Shouldn't government come very strong on this? And he has talked about the mining. We are aware that copper and gold mining will resume in Lower Zambezi, and he has asked questions around that. But coming back to Mr. Mkosa. Mr. Mkosa, you had said we should trust government. But how can we trust government if some minister comes up and tells us that he has tested the 602 pieces, he even now knows the mineral content and mineral formation in 602 pieces within a period of 2-3 hours? That, for us, marks that someone is trying to interfere with the process. And that's why I have welcomed the statement by the Minister of Home Affairs, where he said ministers should stay away from the process and allow law enforcement agencies, because some are keen to do a cover-up. Like everyone says, the crime and the cover-up usually is even a bigger crime, because you commit more crimes trying to cover up the actual crime. Allow, I think, the legal process to deal with the crime that occurred at the international airport. As we begin to wind up, this was a hot debate, and I'm glad that you all participated, but we're discussing the gold scandal. The Drug Enforcement Commission received information that a plane arrived on 13th August 2023 from Addis Ababa. This is a Swiss jet, a Bombardier 600 Express that came from Switzerland, Cairo. It went to Somalia. It came to Addis Ababa. Then finally came and parked in Lusaka. And the operation resulted in the seizure of $5.6 million. 5 pistols, 7 magazines, 126 ammunitions, and 602 pieces of suspected gold weighing 127 kg. The Air Force, the DEC, also seized this plane, the Bombardier Global Express T7WW, on which the items were found. Now, Mr. Mkosa not Mr. Mkosa, TL says, Ambassador, you were talking about that the plane has left. There were very strong reports and videos to indicate that the plane left yesterday. The Minister of Home Affairs has assured us, has assured all of us stakeholders, and has assured the country that the plane is available. It hasn't left. He has assured us that the money is available. But it doesn't exclude us from questioning. When you don't question, cover-up will take place. We have a duty, TL, to be alert, to ask these questions. Don't stop us from asking these questions. Remember, this scandal was exposed by whistleblowers, not by DEC. The plane came on Sunday. On Monday, the videos around 15, 16 hours began to fly, and we heard that there's been a process all day where people were trying to transact. It came from social media. So when social media says the plane has gone and the videos come, we have to question. So don't discount that. It helps us with accountability. Good evening. Please tell us your name as we begin to wind up. I'll take the last 3 calls.
Okay, good evening, Ambassador Mumba.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, this is Mambwe. I'm calling from Kafue.
Yes, Mr. Mambwe.
Okay. Yes, I've always liked the way you analyze things and the way you take up things.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, but I think this has come after the hair has been cleared. If you followed the presser when the DEC Director General was addressing the nation, I think most of these things that you are trying to highlight were ironed out. Unless otherwise, I think he was so very much specific to say that there is the information that we need to know, and there is that information that they are keeping that may jeopardize their investigations. As you are aware, this
Bamambwe, are you satisfied with the process and the pace so far?
No, actually, I had some mixed feelings after the Minister of Mines said, no, it's not good, what. But I think after the presser of the DEC SG, I'm not a politician, I'm just an ordinary Zambian who is very much concerned with our resources. I think we need to give them time. In as much as we are concerned with our resources, we should not be much in a hurry. We should not be pushed by you politicians to agree on something that we do not understand. That is my position.
Thank you, Bamambwe. Thank you very much.
Let us give the investigative wings the time to do the investigation. If you don't get a times, then we are going to rise. So you politicians, you are trying to push us to raise. No, let us give them time to work. I think it's very clear. Ambassador,
Thank you very much. No, it's not very clear. I'm just allowing your opinion. Your opinion is very important, but it doesn't make it the truth. That's the purpose of this program. It's an open program. I don't know who will call, but I give you space to say your mind.
Yes, my point is that let us give time for the investigators to do their job. If
Thank you very much. I think your point is very clear. You are asking us to have faith in law enforcement agencies and for us to give it time. That is your opinion, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Wamambwe.
Okay, Ambassador. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeah, Dr. Raymond calling from within Lusaka.
Mr. Raymond, make your contributions.
Yes, there's this scandal that has that went on, which is the topic of the day. So it's clear, Ambassador Mwamba, to say these trips that we've been talking about, Yava president, it's now 49 or if not 50 trips. And we've been talking to say we don't see any results. Now, looking at the scandal that happened, there is no way, even these people that are saying, no, the president is not involved. I personally, my opinion on this one is, this man is involved. And that's why we don't see any results on the trips. Out of 50 trips or so, the minimum is too high. He doesn't care. Dollar is high. Fuel is high. So we've been asking ourselves to say, but why is it traveling so much if we're not seeing the results? Now, those are the results. We have seen to say the trips that he has been, going up and down is self-beneficial. You see? Those are the results.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you very much.
Yes, because we can even, you can even tell, the man is so comfortable around whites, unlike us, with the people that voted. You find that around us, he's even wearing my glove white, he's around the blacks, his own relatives, he's wearing gloves. when greeting us. But when he goes, abroad, in America, Shani, he doesn't go with any gloves, he's so comfortable in benefiting the whites, unlike us.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Raymond. Let me take the other calls. Thank you very much. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. Thank you.
Good evening.
Yes. I think my name is Mr. Mweva, calling you from Kitwe.
Mr. Mweva from Kitwe. Make your contribution, sir.
Yeah. So, firstly, as Zambian people, we actually need to appreciate the work that we are actually doing. Why do I say so? Because even the statement that the DG himself issued was not completed. Because he actually said, if I quote, no, in fact, these are just scammers. Again, the same DG is actually saying, we are actually still investigating. So if they are actually still investigating, how have they concluded to say these were just scammers? And one thing that the Zambian people need to know is that as long as these law enforcement agencies are not pushed, they will not take us to any conclusion. So the work that they are doing is very great, and that's why they are even calling for this press statement or press briefing. Don't stop pushing them. That's the only way they can actually give us the answers and the correct results. So keep up the same work. Don't worry about the people that are discouraging you. At the end of the day, out of 10, no bless you. Others will actually argue with you. Others are going to support you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Colleagues, we've been discussing the gold scandal. I think I need to close. The line is way beyond 22 hours when we usually close our program, and we have to allow you to rest. We know this is a topical issue. We might have a second bite, and there might be some more development from the Drug Enforcement Commission that may require us to discuss before the matter goes to court. For those that were saying it's a scam, my question, with this $5 million, to date, there hasn't been a denial. We are just being told that allow DEC to do their job. We'll allow DEC to do their job. If they'll come and tell us the name of the officer, the alleged officer, and I hope there'll be a recovery of this money. We need to emphasize our point, whether it's a scam or not, because some people want to reduce this to a mere scam. If it is a scam, it doesn't matter. An illegal transaction took place at an unauthorized place, an apron of the international airport. This is a secure, secluded, guarded area. Persons and strangers are not allowed on these premises. Transactions took place. Gold or whatever it is, whether they are stones, exchanged with these millions of dollars on the airport tarmac without the authorities of ZRA. It's not a legitimate place for trading. This entire process broke various laws of our country. And now the issue of $5.7 million. This money laundering, the various money laundering and anti-money laundering regulations demonstrate that those were breached utterly. So there will be some people who will be keen to attempt to cover up this crime. And we saw the Minister of Mines, I can name him, because he's the one that quickly came to try to trivialize this entire international scandal. I noted when I was reviewing the press that nearly every country has published this scandal that occurred at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport in Zambia. I saw the story, just Google it. It's everywhere, including Europe. So here you are, scandalizing the name of Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, named after our forefathers, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. Scandalizing our country that you can do illegal business at their international airport. And the Minister of Mines wanted us to trivialize the matter, that it's a matter we shouldn't be concerned about, that they are just scammers. We want to wakwalesa. So we expect very firm action. And this matter is coming up just after the Sujilite scandal. It hasn't been exhaustively done. People are not in court yet. Of course, various people were fired and various people were arrested. This as a hallmark. And remember what the issue is. Our people know that gold is being mined in Chongwe, in Mumbwa, in Vubwi, in Petauke, in Solwezi, in Mwinilunga, in Ikelenge. Our people know where the gold is being mined. And our people know that we as a country are not benefiting from this gold. This is not a matter for politicians. This is for the livelihood of our people, the people of Zambia. They need to have their wealth secure, and that our people must benefit from this huge resource. The gold scandal will remain a matter of public interest. We have to see action of whoever is involved. And DEC, can you name the culprit? Thank you. God bless you. Before I wind up, I'll leave you with the videos that we started with. That is a practice. And let me just read my verse that I usually close the program with. Just a minute, sir. For those calls, I'm so sorry we can't take. Oh my God, we have 158 missed calls. I'm so sorry we couldn't take all the calls. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you. And may he be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. Good night and God bless you. God bless Zambia. God bless our country.
That is strong, that has been able to unearth such an issue. So that's what you do as a leader. But if a leader, you hear that there is a lion there, without even proving that there is a lion, you rush to the whole community and say there is a lion. People will scamper in all directions. People will end up dying, yet there was no lion. Have you seen Zambians, the people that are trying to aspire to be your leaders? Leadership entails nga waonfwe chintu chafi na leader. First ikala tondolo. Wait. Digest it. Know what it is. Then go to the media and speak. Now, who has looked foolish here?
To urge all other wings of government to desist from making comments on this matter. All comments pertaining to this particular matter will be handled by the Drug Enforcement Agency, who are the lead agency in this investigation. We also want to appeal to members of the public who may have particular information pertaining to this particular gold saga to report and inform the investigating wings of the information they may have in order for the investigating wings to expedite this particular process. We, as government, have nothing to hide. This morning, we are going to lead a delegation of media houses to go to the airport and see for themselves that the plane in issue is under our custody. And the individuals who are alleged to be involved in this matter, and which individuals were detained by the police, are still in custody. No one has been released by the investigating wing. I also want to appeal that politicians must not use this particular unfortunate situation to scandalize the presidency. The president and members of staff at State House should be left out of this scheme. Let the investigating wings investigate the matter. The truth will be known by the public.
Egypt
and it was actually headed to Zambia. The itinerary, according to the manifest, it indicates that it was supposed to fly back again to Egypt. That is what we have as at now. The nationalities of the people that we have detained, we have 6 Egyptians, 1 Spanish, 1 Dutch, 1 Nephian, I'm not sure which part of the planet this country is, that were on the plane. And the preliminary information that we have is that we are coming to Zambia to carry out some business transactions. As you may appreciate, we decided to give you a preliminary release. We have not yet interrogated the matter to an extent where we can give you a comprehensive position, where we'll tell you now this is where we are heading to. So these are the nationalities.
Just as a follow-up, the items that have been seized, is it cargo that was coming from Zambia or they came with the plane? Just clarity on that.
Yes, that one is something that we will have to have clearly after we're done with the investigations. But what is important is that these items have been seized and they were found on the aircraft. Does that help? Thank you.
Thank you so much, colleagues. Is there any other person with